どんなに遠く離れたって決して夢は終わらない
Okay, I will now begin to explain the basic rules of Cardfight Vanguard. To start playing Cardfight Vanguard, you need exactly 50 cards. To win the game, you need to deal 6 damage to your opponent before they can do 6 damage to you through attacking Vanguard. To start out, select one grade 0 from your deck and place it in the Vanguard square, or circle, which is the center circle right here, and then there are also 5 rearguard circles. Then you draw 5 cards from your deck, and select the cards you want to keep, and return the cards you don't want to keep to the bottom of your deck. You then shuffle and draw one more card. Next is riding. From this point, you can ride units on top of other units. You can either ride units that only have the same rank or higher, never lower or 2 grades above. Exactly 1 grade lower. And you can only call rear guards that are the same grade or lower as your vanguard. When you attack, you do a drive trigger check. Now, drive trigger checks can have one of 5 results. You either don't get a trigger or you get one of 4 triggers. There are heal triggers, which as this one you can see here are green triggers, as you can see the symbol up in this corner. There's also critical triggers, stand triggers, and draw triggers. Now all of them have the same ability of they do what they do. Critical triggers increase the damage you deal, stand triggers let you stand up a rear guard, and draw triggers let you draw a card. Now heal triggers are a little bit more of a specific card that has their own rules to them. While heal triggers do give the 5,000 power, if your damage is less than your opponent's, you cannot actually heal a damage. And this is the only way you can only have 4 cards which have heal triggers in your deck. Whereas the other triggers, you can have up to 16 copies that have that trigger. As long as you don't have more than 4 copies of the same card. Next, I will now explain the basic inherent abilities of each grade. In reality, there's only about 3 different types of abilities. There's the boost ability, which is found in grades 0s and 1, which allow them to boost units in the front row when they're in the back row. Next is grade 2s, whose ability is to intercept attacks that are coming at your vanguard. You can also guard using cards from your hand, but then there's the grade 3s, who have the ability to twin drive check, which doubles the chances of you getting a trigger. Now, triggers are only activated during the drive trigger check or when you take damage. Let's say I took damage and I drew this trigger. I draw 1 card to give power to my vanguard. Let's see. And there's also a few inherent abilities that are found in grade 3. Which are primarily just limit breaks, ultimate breaks, and break rides in Legion. Limit breaks are the ability where if you have 4 damage in your damage zone, you can activate most limit breaks. Which basically just activates the ability on the card as long as you have 4 damage. Next come ultimate breaks, which require 5 damage instead of 4, and then break rides, which are basically just a subset of limit breaks that only activate when one rides a unit on top of another unit. Then there are legions who you can activate a legion anytime during the game, but they require you to return 4 cards in your drop zone to your deck, and then select whatever card is named Legion card, and call them onto your Vanguard square, and then activate their Legion ability if they have one.
Vanguard fight, light on the way.